Let's start with the central question every food analyst asks. Is Sri Lankan cuisine just a regional version of Indian, or is it a completely distinct culinary system? To answer that, you have to analyze its core components, and that analysis, believe it or not, starts with its unique economic landscape. But before we even get into flavor profiles and spice levels, we have to establish the economic baseline for any traveler. Because this entire analysis, this entire experience, really boils down to one single crucial number. 250 Sri Lankan rupees. That's roughly €1.50. This is your baseline price for a complete, authentic plate of the country's most essential meal, rice and curry. It's a critical data point, really, that separates two completely different travel experiences. See, on one side, you have these local hole-in-the-wall spots. Here, a massive plate of rice and curry will set you back somewhere between 250 and 400 LKR. But on the other side, you've got the tourist-focused restaurants. The choice you make here literally dictates your entire culinary journey. So to optimize it, you have to master the foundational components. Okay, the whole cuisine is pretty much built on three foundational pillars. If you understand these, you understand everything. We'll start with the most common, most ubiquitous dish on the entire island, rice and curry. First thing you need to get straight, rice and curry is not one dish, it's a platter. You get a central mound of rice, and it's surrounded by this whole constellation of smaller dishes. You'll almost always get dal, that's a creamy lentil curry, and with it a selection of vegetable curries. Pumpkin is a huge favorite, it's creamy and not too spicy, but you should also look for beetroot, jackfruit, and long beans. Oh, and it's usually served with some crispy papadums for a bit of crunch. Next up, hoppers, or as they're called locally, Appa. Now these are not pancakes. Think of them more like bowl-shaped vessels. They're made from a fermented batter of rice flour and coconut milk. That fermentation process is key. It gives them their signature slightly sour note, those super crispy edges, and a soft, spongy center. And while you might think of them as a breakfast food, honestly, they're eaten all day long. The most popular version, hands down, is the egg hopper. The process couldn't be simpler, and it's always done fresh right in front of you. They pour the batter into a special little wok, swirl it around to make that bowl shape, and then, while it's cooking, they crack an egg right into the center. It's usually served with a spicy sambol or just a little salt and pepper. It is simplicity perfected. And the third pillar, Kottu Roti. This is, without a doubt, the undisputed king of Sri Lankan street food. It's the local equivalent of an American cheeseburger or maybe pad thai. It's fast, cheap, a little greasy, and just incredibly satisfying. It's a mix of finely chopped up roti flatbread that gets stir-fried with vegetables, spices, and whatever you want to add. Egg, chicken, cheese, you name it. Now here's the key identifier for Kottu. It's auditory, not visual. You will hear it long before you ever see it. You'll hear this rhythmic, high-speed clatter of two metal blades hitting a hot griddle. That is the signature sound of the Sri Lankan street at night. And that sound, that's your signal to head over. Section 2, for a quick bite. So beyond the main dishes, there's this whole culture of snacking. It's known as short eats, and it's your #1 option for a budget-friendly, on-the-go meal. This table pretty much lays out your main options. Vegetable rotis are these skillet-fried, triangular pastries filled with spicy vegetables. They're different from samosas, which are usually deep-fried. Then you've got masala vade, a savory lentil fritter that you'll see sold everywhere, especially on buses and trains. But the really critical data point here is the price. We're talking about 50 LKR, which is like 30 cents. It's a super cost-effective way to get some food in you. The way these snacks are sold is also pretty unique. You'll often hear Beethoven's For Elise playing, and that's actually the jingle for mobile tuk-tuk bakeries. They drive around selling fresh bread, sweets, and vegetable rotis. It's a sound that's just an integral part of the urban landscape there. Section 3, drinks and side dishes. A meals analysis is never complete with its accompaniments. So we're going to cover the essential drinks and what is arguably the single most important condiment in the entire country. Let's start with Pul's sambol. Now, this isn't just a side dish, it's a fundamental flavor component. It's a fresh relish made of grated coconut, red onions, dried chilies, salt, and a good squeeze of lime juice. Its job is to add this fresh, spicy, zesty counterpoint to everything else. And you will see it served with nearly every single savory dish. When it comes to beverages, you've got 3 main options to focus on. First, King Coconut. It's noticeably sweeter than the standard green coconuts you might be used to. Second, Ceylon tea, which is, of course, the country's most globally recognized drink. And finally, the dominant local beer is Lion Lager, a pretty standard light pilsner that's well suited for the tropical climate. Section 4,
The Practical Eater's Guide. All right, this final section gives you the actionable guidelines you need to navigate the food scene safely and, more importantly, authentically.
Okay, when you're eating street food, these aren't just suggestions, they are rules. First, only eat at stalls that have a high turnover of local customers. That's your best indicator of freshness and quality. Second, make sure the food is cooked fresh, right there in front of you, and that it's served piping hot. And third, just avoid anything that looks like it's been sitting out uncovered for a long time. It's common sense, but you have to be vigilant.
Here's a quick but really vital piece of etiquette. For a lot of dishes, especially rice and curry, the local custom is to eat with your right hand. It's a simple thing to do, and it's a great way to show respect for the culture.